Test. No. You test it. Casey Stevens. Casey, can you talk?
1, 2, 3,
3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10.
A 10. Test.
This is a, what is it? What is it called?
A Christian Bagan production. Test. Test.
This is a replay from Red.
Funny guy. Test. Test. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 6.
From the University of Cincinnati.
Strike three. How about that?
And that baby's gone. What a shot.
On a picture-perfect Saturday, the Bearcats are coming off an 11-1 victory yesterday and look to win the series over the Baylor Bears. You're listening to Big 12 Baseball on Bearcat Sports Radio. Good afternoon and welcome to UC Baseball Stadium alongside Casey Stevens. I'm Christian Pagan. Casey, yesterday, the Bearcats won 11-1. Nathan Taylor, 7 innings pitched, tied his career-high 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, he did fantastic up there on the bump. Most of those strikeouts were back-to-back. Biters were biting on everything that he was throwing for the Bears. He was a few pitches away from an immaculate inning. Back in that fifth, he still went 1-2, allowed a double, and most of the hits that he gave up out of the 7 were 2 strike counts. That doesn't happen often. But even then, the Bears were able to see the ball very well, putting it into play, 2 strike counts or 2 outs. They were doing anything that they could to slow down Taylor. They were just not able to. And you look at what Cincinnati did in that game, run rule in the bottom of the 8th inning. You've just seen changes throughout the season in the lineup. Ryan Taransky, he's produced 19 runs over the past 2 games, allowing Cincinnati to just score multitudes recently. He did it last night, tying the school record for doubles with 3.
And now for the Bearcats, in the first 4 innings of yesterday, it took them some time to get going on the bats. Only 2 runs off of 3 hits, but when it came to the final 4 innings of the game, 9 runs off of 7 hits, including the Quentin Coates 2-run homer to seal the deal.
Yeah, and Cincinnati started from the 8th, going back to the 6th. They drew a walk every time to start, getting someone on base early. That's allowed them to just consistently get multiple people on the base paths, have no outs on the board, get people on there, and then have their production start, and that's exactly what happened. Ryan Taransky mentioned 3 doubles yesterday. Most of that, he allowed people to get around because Cincinnati has watched the ball well. They're looking to replicate that today.
And for the Bears, their offense, you mentioned 6 hits with 2 outs. You're not going to see that a ton, but on defense, 3 errors allowed in the first 3 innings of the ball game.
Yeah, and we mentioned yesterday a team that entered with only 26 errors, one of the lowest in Big 12 overall, and 3 errors. They were very, you could say, uncharacteristic for a team that's so well put together on defense. That's why they're so close in most of the games that they play. And Cincinnati, they capitalized. They just got on base, ran out hard. Most of the time when a ball's hit infield, you don't have many guys who run to first base. But Cincinnati, they took it. They saw maybe this could be a chance to get someone on base, and they did exactly that and allowed them to just capitalize on that. Already have someone on the base paths. They used it to their advantage, winning that game. You mentioned the home run by Quentin Coates, his 21st for him this season.
Let's take a look at the Baylor batting order. It will be Travis Sanders, the shortstop, leading off. Ty Johnson right behind him in the 2-hole. Brady Janusik, the star freshman, hits 3rd. Tice Armstrong bats cleanup for the Bears. Hunter Snow hits 5th. Pearson Reebok bats 6th. J.J. Kennett, the catcher, is hitting 7th. Kate Dobson is in the 8-hole and to wrap up the starting lineup, making his 2nd start of the season. It's the freshman Dylan Perez. For Cincinnati, here's their defensive alignment. It's Cal Sefcik in left field, Derek Pitts in center, Ryan Taransky in right. Quentin Coates, the star first baseman, is back at first base. Jackson Smith, he's at 2nd. Charlie Niehaus at shortstop. Christian Mitchell at 3rd. And today's starting pitcher is Logan Knight, the senior from Canada. When he came in, he was the Saturday starter. He then ran into some trouble. He came as a reliever the past couple games off the bullpen, but today he's back into that Saturday starting spot.
Yeah, and Cincinnati definitely has some issues with their pitching throughout the season, losing Carson Marsh due to injury, and you need guys to step up. You know, maybe let's throw Knight in there, get a guy who's consistent on the mound, can get you strikeouts when he needs to, but he's worked around. It's Saturday, these mid-games in the series for Bischel throughout the season. He typically will go maybe 3-4 arms just to get those guys the innings that they need, but for Knight on the season, a 2-3 record, he struck out 32. I think the biggest issue is he gives up a lot of hits. 40 hits given up for him today, and Baylor, they can hit the ball well. The biggest thing was getting the strikeouts, which they couldn't do, and you have a new arm on the mound, someone who isn't as productive as Taylor was yesterday. So for the Bears, they may use that and just ride with it throughout the rest of the game, and we may see more runs than just one that they scored yesterday.
In his last start for Logan Knight, it came against Oklahoma State. 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, including 2 homers. He walked 1 batter and struck out 1. As you mentioned, the 2-3 record on the year. An ERA just below 7. Today's weather, it's honestly a very beautiful day for some baseball here in the Queen City. Temperatures at 66 degrees. We have a high expected of 68. Slight breeze coming in from the right field foul pole. Yesterday was quite the different story with a few showers blowing through and a lot of wind coming in from left field.
Yeah, yesterday, you could say that could be the factor into some of the errors that were out there. It was a little slippery, a turf field. And, I mean, today's a picture-perfect day you mentioned. It's beautiful, not much wind. It's kind of in that spring full swing in Cincinnati.
66 degrees, mostly sunny. And here comes Travis Sanders for the Baylor Bears to lead things off. Baylor, and they're all gray uniforms. Bearcats, and they're all whites. Knight is ready. Takes a deep breath. Here's the first pitch of the game to Sanders, and it's fouled behind. Start time 3:06 p.m. Bearcats are looking to take the series over the Baylor Bears today.
And Sanders did not have the best day yesterday, being struck out 3 times, grounded out, did not reach the bases at all for the Bears.
Logan Knight is ready. Defense playing Sanders straight up. Here's the 0-1. Just outside for a ball. You mentioned Sanders not reaching on base yesterday. That snapped a 35-game on-base streak for him. That was tied for the 7th longest on-base streak for Baylor since 2003. Knight once again with a deep breath sends the 1-1 downstairs and away for ball 2.
And I think the biggest change for the batters today for the Bears is the speed. Nathan Taylor yesterday was reaching 96. You'll see Knight maybe top out close to 89, 90.
Sanders this year hits 360. Definitely a change of pace between the two pitchers. The 2-1's popped up the left field. Kalsefsik moves under it. Moves to his left and makes the grab for route number 1. That was a sky high. I mean, if you talk about a different day where there's clouds, that may be an issue, but because the sky is mostly blue and the clouds are very thin today, it should not be an issue.
Yeah, we saw a few plays yesterday that were hit into left field. Dylan Perez for the Bears attempted to track a ball. He got 2 up on it, went over his head, and, I mean, the clouds may play a bit of a factor today.
Here comes Ty Johnson, the lefty hitter. On the year, he hits 222. The first pitch, swung on and missed. A nice 90-mile-an-hour pitch by Logan Knight with 1 down in the top of the first.
Yeah, and Johnson struck out 3 times yesterday, too. Didn't reach base at all. He had one that was put into play, but gloved right in by Taylor to get an out back in the 3rd inning.
Here comes the 0-1. Downstairs, just skip behind the plate for ball 1. Johnson, a 5th year from Flower Mound, Texas. This is his 31st game played, making his 29th start of the year. Knight kicks and deals. The 1-1 as Johnson fans by the 85-mile-an-hour breaking pitch. And now the infield will shift towards the right. Mitchell, the third baseman, will trot his way behind the second base bag. Knight is ready. Here comes the 1-2. Downstairs as Johnson did not bite. Another 85-mile-an-hour breaking pitch sets up a 2-2 count.
Yeah, and Cincinnati will pull out the shift anytime there's a lefty up to bat. They want to really crowd the right side of the field. That's where the ball will be pulled most of the time, but you're risking that big gap between 3rd and 2nd, not having your 3rd baseman over there.
Here's the 2-2 offering. Just got a piece of it fouled towards the Cincinnati dugout, 3rd base side, as Johnson stays alive. You mentioned yesterday he did strike out 3 times. Before the series opener, he had only 1 strikeout in his last 26 at-bats. And yesterday in 4, he struck out 3 times. Here comes the 2-2. Just got a tiny nick of it to foul it off.
Yeah, and for Johnson, he's staying alive at the at-bat. You're a guy who, I mean, you're coming off of a rough game yesterday, something that you have to have goldfish memory for, and put the ball in play, get on base, 1 out on the board, you're down in the count, see what you can do to just get the bats going for the Bears.
Shift is still in play for Cincinnati. Smith, the second baseman, playing in shallow right field. The 2-2 pitch. That one is tapped to Smith. He charges up, throws the first for out number 2.
And the shift worked exactly to what Jordan Bishop planned out there with a lefty batter. Hit right between the gap of 1st and 2nd. Smith covering that shallow right field perfectly. Got it right into his glove and put it over to 1st for the 2nd out.
And that will bring up Brady Janusik, the freshman, with 2 down in the top of the 1st. Scoreless game between the Bears and the Bearcats from UC Baseball Stadium. Janusik hitting .336 this year, OPS above 1,000. The righty hitter awaits the pitch from Knight. Here it comes. First pitch falls in for a strike against Janusik. Yesterday he was 2 of 4 with a double and struck out twice. That was his 12th multi-hit game of the season. The 0-1 offering popped up behind home plate and in foul territory and out of play.
And for Janusik playing in right field yesterday, a few balls hit to him. We mentioned kind of the clouds there. He may have a different day. And batting-wise, he got on bases right away. Hit that single back to start the game. Got a stolen bag as well. But striking out 2 times, you don't want to see that at all for one of your top guys.
2 down, top of the first. Here is the 0-2 pitch. Did not freeze him. Tried to go off speed at 83 miles an hour away, as Janusik did not bite.
You know, the off speed from Knight today is, I mean, that's his bread and butter. He's going to stick with that all game long. Have just a little bit of difference between his fastball and his off speed.
Knight kicks and deals. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Force him to fish below the zone. 83 mile an hour off speed. It's 3 up, 3 down for the Bears. To the bottom of the first we go here from UC Baseball Stadium. Bottom of the first here at UC Baseball Stadium. It will be Zach Wallace, the sophomore righty, to take the mound for the Baylor Bears. This year for Wallace, he's making his 11th appearance, 6th start of the year, a record of 3-2, an ERA at 4.75.
Yeah, he's a guy who will get you the production you need on a Saturday, right? Last year, the JUCO product won a championship, went 8-0 with the Falcons in 15 appearances, a 2.02 ERA. I mean, he struck out 72 batters across his 49 innings of work, but for Baylor, there's a big difference, right? You make that jump from playing in junior college. You're used to some big bats that may have some pop, but you're playing in Division I now, a 3-2 record. I mean, he's a guy who will get you a lot of strikeouts as well, and you're going up against a hard lineup. Leading off for the Bearcats, Ryan Turansky, who's kind of, I would say, almost solidified himself for the leadoff spot in the past few games.
Here's the Cincinnati starting lineup. Ryan Turansky leads off, followed by Quentin Coates in the 2-hole. Jackson Smith bats third. Jack Tilly hits cleanup. Derek Pitts hits fifth. Enzo Infelice DH is batting sixth. Cal Sepsic hits seventh. Christian Mitchell in the 8-hole, and Charlie Niehaus wraps up the Cincinnati starting lineup. Quickly for the Baylor Bears defensive alignment, Dylan Perez in left, Ty Johnson in center, Brady Janusik in right, Tyce Armstrong at first, Pearson Reebok at second, Travis Sanders at short, and Cade Dotson at third. First pitch to Turansky is in for a strike, with J.J. Kennett, the catcher, behind the dish today for the Bears. Turansky this year hitting .299. You talked about it. This is his third ever game hitting leadoff, all coming in consecutive order as Turansky takes another strike in the bottom half of the zone.
Yeah, I mean, the production's there out of the kid. Yesterday, tied the school record with 3 doubles after being struck out his first time. Reached base 4 times out of the 5 that he was up there to bat.
Here's the 0-2 to Turansky. Fouled away left side. That one reached the parking lot of UPA.
I mean, you got to put your head on a swivel if you're ever walking up there. If you're walking out the college students, they got to be aware if a game's going on.
And Jordan Bishop talked about getting a spark going for this offense, and that meant by making a lot of changes, one of them Taransky leading off. The 0-2 pitch, Taransky taps one to the second baseman, Reebok. Gloves over to first in dime for out number 1.
Yeah, and the throw by Reebok over to Armstrong, I mean, you're making Armstrong reach a little bit to it. He was not, you could say, fully sure on where the ball was going to be. It was kind of a wonky throw, but getting there on time, getting his glove on it, almost tipped it out, but getting the first out.
Here comes Quentin Coates with one down in the bottom of the first. 0-0 is our score in game number 2 of a 3-game set between the Bearcats and the Baylor Bears. Coates went 3 of 5 yesterday. First pitch to him. Coates pops it up infield side. Foul ground in front of the Bearcat dugout. The catcher Kennett calls it off and makes the grab as he collided with Cade Dotson for out number 2.
Yeah, I mean, he called him off, and Dodson still went in there. I think they were both looking up, not seeing the flail of the arms. And, I mean, Kennett's still getting under it. You get the second out. You get a hard guy to put out in Coates, and now you go to your second baseman, Jackson Smith.
Here, there's 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Jackson Smith now hitting in that 3-hole. Prior to this week, he was the original leadoff guy, a spot in which he hit it a team high 26 times, but now being shifted down to the 3 spot. Yesterday, he was 1 for 3, had an RBI single back in the 5th inning. Wallace is ready, deals the first pitch to Smith, and it's outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and Smith, a guy who enters with 4 home runs, you mentioned hitting above 300. Cincinnati's lineup, a lot of their top 6 hit above 300.
The 1-0, and there for a strike. You talked about it, this Cincinnati lineup, it's deep. The only issue is that they have 7 righties and only 2 lefties. That's been a big concern, the lefty bats. The 1-1 skipped, or they're going to say it hit Jackson Smith on the foot as he sprints down the first base line, and he's on board with 2 down in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, just clipped his right foot standing up in the box. And I mean, 2 outs, this is where Baylor thrived yesterday, but Cincinnati, they're typically a team known as the Cardiac Cats. They hold you on your seats the entire game. They'll keep you waiting with those 2 outs on the board, and this is where they can possibly put the ball in play, get the runner on first to advance over.
Here comes Jack Natilli with 2 down. First pitch to Natilli, clips the zone for a strike. For Jackson Smith, that is the 19th time this season he has been hit by a pitch. That leads the Big 12 and was 8th nationally entering the series. Wallace kicks and deals the 0-1. Nice breaking pitch in there for a strike at 74 miles an hour.
And the control from going 92 down to 74, an 18-mile-an-hour difference, I mean, that's impressive.
2 outs. Smith at first. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Skipped before the plate. Inside the lefty's batter box for a ball. As a helicopter is now flying above campus. You can probably hear it being picked up from our microphones.
I mean, you're more of an airplane guy. I don't know if you got the helicopter app, too.
Flight radar does include helicopters.
Oh, really?
Here's the 1-2. Outside for ball 2. For Cincinnati, they are known to play bishop ball, which includes small ball and stealing a lot of bases. Jackson Smith has 13 stolen bags this year, but the Bearcats in the previous games haven't really been able to steal a lot of bags. Here's the 2-2 to Natilli. Not in for a strike as the catcher Kennett faked the throw over to first.
Yeah, I mean, the ball was very low into the dirt. Had to make Kennett reach over in the opposite batter's box. Smith was already about halfway to second. The ball kind of got him looking a little bit. He had to slide back in to first.
2 down. Here's the payoff pitch. Novi throws back to first. Not in time. You know, in the MLB, those throwback rules, you have, I believe, 3 per inning, 2 per inning. In college, it's unlimited. So many times, they'll throw back 5, 6 times in one at-bat. The payoff pitch. And it's outside for a ball. So it's back-to-back base runners on board for the Bearcats, with Derek Pitts coming up to the plate.
And those are just free passes that the Cats are capitalizing on, watching the ball well, maybe taking a bruise if you're Smith after getting hit by pitch and then drawing the walk in Philly, but you go and see if Derek Pitts can have a better day than what he did yesterday.
And for Baylor, they emphasize in their pitching philosophy is to limit free passes. And that midweek against UT Arlington, they only gave up 2 free passes. 2 outs. First pitch to Pitts is in for a strike. Runners on first and second for the Bearcats in the bottom of the first. Scoreless game.
And with Derek Pitts up, he got on base, but we mentioned the pickoffs too, the attempts over to first. He got picked off, a very rare pickoff. You don't see it often.
Not much at all. The pitch fouled behind off the netting. Sets up quickly an 0-2 count against Pitts.
And he's hitting for power most of the time. He's hitting above 350. You have runners in scoring position on first and second for the Bearcats, but 2 outs on the board.
Pitts this year hits .364. That leads the team for Cincinnati. Wallace is ready. And he steps off, throws back to second. And you hear the crowd booing Wallace for that move, as you would expect.
All right, the home crowd, you get that bit of advantage, and Cincinnati loves to play at home, a team that thrives.
Decent crowd here at UC Baseball Stadium for game number 2 of the 3-game set. The 0-2 to Pitts. Popped up behind, fouled out of play towards the UC Athletic facility. You mentioned the Bearcats loving to play at home. Since 2024, they are 51-18 here at UC Baseball Stadium. They have won 9 of their last 12 Big 12 series at home. That one is downstairs and away for a ball. Sets up a 1-2 count with 2 down in the bottom of the first.
I think Cincinnati fans enjoy watching baseball. You have a lot of struggles throughout most of your other sports, but baseball has continued to grow, and you're getting the fans to come to the games.
This is also a baseball city. The 1-2. Pitts gets a piece of it, fouls it behind. I mean, you see it with the Reds, the opening day parade, how many fans that attracts. This is truly a baseball town, and you're starting to see it now with all the attention that's coming to the college level. You got a guy like Quentin Coates, Nathan Taylor, how important those guys can be in increasing the Cincinnati baseball brand. The 1-2 is upstairs. Force Pitts to back up. Sets up a 2-2 count.
Yeah, and I mean, you have the Reds. They're playing fantastic to start the year. Cincinnati hit a bit of a struggle and kind of sliding off, but they need another win here, looking to at least win the series if they get one today.
Natilli at first, Smith at second. 2-2 count, the pitch. And it's fouled behind once again as Pitt stays alive with 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
And the thing I love about the dugout that Cincinnati brings with them every game is they will bring the energy. Jordan Bishop preaches the 3 E's that he wants to bring to this team when he got hired on, and he shows what he can do.
Wallace steps off, throws back to second. It's caught by Reebok as he lofts it back over to Wallace. Trying to keep the Bearcats honest. I'm sure the Bears know how much Cincinnati loves to steal bases. 2 down. Here comes the 2-2. Pitts takes it upstairs for ball 3.
I mentioned the stolen bases that Cincinnati loves to do. There was one play yesterday where Quentin Coates thought he could steal third from second and caught himself in a bit of a pickle. Not much of a rundown, a guy who typically won't steal bases, but it was an easy out.
Here's the payoff pitch. Pitts taps it slowly to Armstrong. No, it's going to be Reebok, and he can't get it. Here comes Smith coming home, and he's safe. Bearcats take the lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. It was Reebok, the second baseman, who called off Armstrong to try and field the slow roller, and he couldn't get it. Heads up play by Smith as he rounded third and came home for the first run of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's pure luck. You have Reebok, who's a guy who's traditionally a fantastic second baseman, but in this series, that's the 4th error. so far on the Bears compared to the 0 that Cincinnati, but a 1-run game already. They get their first run and 2 outs still on the board.
They will officially score it as a single, but it's a fine line as Enzo Infelice takes the ball. And to play like that, now they mark it as an error, so the scoreboard goes back and forth. But regardless, the Bearcats have 2 runners on. You got Natili at second, Pitts at first, Infelice hitting .353 comes to the plate, the 1-0. Downstairs, skip before Kennett for ball 2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Bearcats have striked first. And here comes the pitching coach for Baylor to talk it over with Zach Wallace.
Yeah, and for Wallace, you start off the game fairly well. You get the 2 balls that were hit from Turansky into the infield, then popped up from Coates, and the hit by pitch, the walk, and now the air. You're more of looking at, hey, let's see what the defense can do. Can we wake up a little bit? Let's get some pitches in the zone. Throw what you have. Throw your good stuff. Put one into the zone. It's a 2-0 count now to the freshman who's been stellar for the Bearcats, and Enzo Infelice.
So officially it is a single for Pitts. Smith scored thanks to an error that's given to Reebok as he couldn't field it. The 2-0 to Infelice. Cuts around and in for a strike. Enzo Infelice, the freshman who's had a phenomenal season so far, hitting .353, that's second best on the team. 25 runs driven in is 4th for the Bearcats. He's got a handful of home runs this year. The 2-1. And Felice watches one go by for a strike, lower half of the zone.
Mentioned kind of like how a few of the players switched their commitment. Enzo Infelice originally committed to Oklahoma, then changed to come and play for the Bearcats. He's made an immediate impact.
The 2-2. Infelice ropes into left center. That's down for a hit. Natili rounding third. Pitts on his way to third. And it's an RBI single for Enzo Infelice. The Bearcats up 2-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
Wow, Enzo Infelice, we talked about the production that he'll bring. Yesterday, it took him a little bit to get on base. Took him up until the 7th inning to get his single, and now he gets another one just early in this game. He's a guy that's hard to stop. Multiple multi-hit games this season, and so far off to a good start.
So after Turansky and Coates, the first 2 hitters for the Bearcats got out, the Bearcats have put 4 consecutive players on base. It was back-to-back walks, now it's back-to-back singles. Here comes Cal Sefcik to the plate with 2 down. First pitch, Sefcik pops it up foul ground right side and out of play.
And for Sefcik, not the most traditional guy up there hitting .338. Will put the ball in play. A lot of ones that will be shallow into outfield, maybe a dribbler that goes and rolls in.
Here's the 0-1 from Wallace. Sefcik takes a strike. You got Pitts at third and Felice at first with 2 down. In the bottom of the first, Bearcats up 2-0 over the Baylor Bears. And for Cal Sefcik, he's someone, remember that he was injured to start the season, and he came back and one of those guys that has provided a spark for the Cincinnati squad. The 0-2, outside and away for ball 1. And Felice will go on his way to second. Pitts in a rundown to going home, and do they get the tag? And they do. Very wonky play. I take my eye away for 1 second, and I see that. Second time that's happened to the Bearcats this series.
Yeah, Derek Pitts just slipped on himself slightly trying to get his jump in from third to home. And the catching by Kennett over to Dodson to get him caught. Enzo and Felice also made the jump from first to get over to second. He made it all the way over to third somehow at the same time. But for Cincinnati, they scored 2 in the bottom of the first, and they have a chance to just ride that momentum.
To the top of the second we go. Cats up 2-0 here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Top of the second here at UC Baseball Stadium. Cats up 2-0 after scoring 2 runs in the bottom frame of the first. Logan Knight returns back to the mound for Cincinnati. In the first inning, he retired the first 3 for Baylor, and it starts with Tice Armstrong batting cleanup for the Bears.
And Armstrong yesterday, 2 doubles, struck out back in the 5th inning, but put the ball into play. Last time he was up in the back of the 8th, but Cincinnati's defense has looked strong so far to start the game.
Defense playing straight up against Armstrong, the righty. First pitch by Knight, in there for a strike. For Tice Armstrong, you mentioned the 2 doubles he had. That was the 8th multi-hit game of the season for him. He's currently on a 5-game on-base streak. The 0-1 from Knight. Once again, Armstrong takes a strike.
Yeah, and the off-speed going up to his fastball for Knight, it's going to throw off a batter slightly if it's near the same spot, too. You're looking to punch him out.
Nobody out, top of the second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It gets away in front of the Tilly. Slides, throws a first, drop third strike, and there's out number 1.
Some good back-to-back strikeouts. And the top of the first, you get Janey sick, and now you get Armstrong, and you're going towards the bottom of the lineup to start. It's going to be a nice start for Logan Knight, too, especially a guy who's moved around, potential reliever, now back to that starting role.
And you saw Jordan Bistro really praise Logan Knight for taking the role upon it, coming on the bullpen for a couple games. You see a lot of guys sometimes be upset, voice their concerns and disapproval of that, but Logan Knight, not one of those guys. Hunter Snow steps in, the lefty, takes a strike on the first pitch. The redshirt freshman from Carmel, Indiana. That's your neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah. It was fun to see him and Buchkowski not match up together, but
the 0-1. As Snow got a piece of it, fouled it behind off the padding, quickly down 0-2 in the count.
If we're going back to that, Adam Buchkowski, the righty for Cincinnati, the pitcher, and Hunter Snow, Jordan Bishop put him in yesterday for just 2 batters. Snow was the last one, 2 outs on the board. Bishop pulled him, and the smiles between those two that's going to be a good memory.
From the stretch, the 0-2, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 on the day for Logan Knight. He struck out 3 consecutive Baylor batters, and now there's 2 down in the top of the second.
I mean, man, when you need a production early, get these strikeouts. Cincinnati off to a great start. They already lead by 2. It's the top of the second inning. 2 outs on the board. Search for the third right here.
Here comes Pearson Reebok with 2 down. He steps in, first pitch, in there for a strike, bottom half of the zone. Reebok yesterday 0 for 2. He did draw 2 walks as well. The sophomore awaits the 0-1 from Knight. Here it comes. In there for a strike. 2 down, top of the second. Cats up 2-0. Logan Knight looking to punch out the side. Can he do it right here? He takes a deep breath. The pitch. And it's Skip behind the plate. 1 pitch away from an immaculate inning.
I know, you and I were both thinking the same thing. I was about to say it. I was thinking it. You looked at me, you grabbed me for a second, like, stop, don't even think about it, but.
I wasn't implying that. I was trying to hype you. I swear I was trying to hype you up. I'm not joking. I accidentally cut you off, that's why. Here's the 1-2. Downstairs again for ball 2.
Yeah, Knight's going to attack that lower part of the zone today. The corners have been his friends so far for the past 2 innings, and back-to-back-to-back strikeouts, seeking that 4th strikeout.
5 consecutive batters retired by Knight. The pitch. This one's roped on the line. Fair ball down the right field line and got past coach. Reebok on his way to second. The throw from Taransky as he bobbled it comes in, and it's a 2-out double for Pearson Reebok.
Coates attempting to make the diving effort from his first base position, and he's going to feel that one tomorrow. Laid out for it and couldn't get his glove on it. Went straight over him into the corner of right field. Taransky bobbled it, like you mentioned, to throw it back in, but a stand-up double for Reebok.
So far in this series, the Bearcats cannot really punch out the Bears when it comes to 2 outs. That is now the 7th hit for Baylor with 2 outs. Here's J.J. Kennett. It's 262 on the year. First pitch for the righty batter takes a strike.
I know you and I mentioned just the 2-strike hitting, too, that the Bears have. 4 of the 7 hits that were given up by Taylor were 2-strike counts, and so far 1 already today, and it was a double.
Kennett down 0-1 in the count. The pitch. Pops it up, right side, hooking foul. Coming towards our way, just behind. Onto the concourse, bounced over the fence and out of the stadium. Top of the second, Cats up 2-0 with 2 down. Pearson Reebok at second base. Logan Knight looking to get out of the inning. He's ready, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Force Kennett to chase, and it's strikeout number 4 for Logan Knight. 3 in the top frame of the second. To the bottoms of the second we go. Cats up 2-0 on Bearcat Sports Radio. It's the bottom of the second here at UC Baseball Stadium. Cats up 2-0 over the Baylor Bears. This is the 5th all-time meeting between these two schools. Back in 2024, these two played in Waco, in which the Bears took 2 of 3. This is the second ever series between these two schools. Cincinnati won yesterday 11-1, and today we enter the 5th all-time meeting. Here comes Cal Sefcik. He came to the plate back in the first, but because Derek Pitts was caught in a rundown that ended the inning, Sefcik will return to begin the bottom of the second. Wallace delivers. First pitch is popped up. Shallow right field. The right fielder coming in. That's Janusek. Calls off his teammates and makes the catch for out number 1.
And for Cincinnati, back-to-back innings where they put the ball into play after the first pitch. Turansky did it to lead off, and then now Sefcik, but you're towards the bottom of your lineup. Look to turn over early and get some of your more productive hitters up there to bat.
This will bring up Christian Mitchell, the senior from Romeoville, Illinois. Went 0 for 4 yesterday, 2 strikeouts. The first pitch to Mitchell, fouled away right side. Once again, off the new athletic facility.
Remember last year they would play the glass shattering sound effect every time?
I had a talk with this to Aiden, and we agreed the same thing. Like the 0-1 in for a strike, we missed those sound effects. It made the game so much more funnier, but I guess because they got a lot better, they had to be a lot more serious.
And we got Bearcat joining us right now.
Once again, second game in a row, the Bearcat has made an appearance by our booth. The 0-2 to Mitchell. Fouled it behind with 1 down, bottom of the second. Mitchell, someone who is struggling as of recently, he is 1 for his last 26. It's 247 on the year. Had his bat really going to begin the season, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 92-mile-an-hour heater. He blew it by Mitchell for out number 2.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, the first strikeout overall for Wallace today. And, I mean, Christian Mitchell is third time being struck out this series already.
That will bring up Charlie Niehaus with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Niehaus hitting 9th for the Bearcats. Pops up and fouls away the first pitch right side. Niehaus hitting 198. Did go 0 for 2 yesterday. Drew a walk and was hit by a pitch. This Bearcat team has been plunked many times as Niehaus takes the ball. They've been hit 64 times. That leads the Big 12.
Wow, I mean, sometimes when you're scared to pitch to them, you got to hit them, and they're taking bruises, and it results in some injuries, and the Bearcats team has been injured.
The 1-1. Clips the zone, low and away for strike 2.
Noticing Wallace change up his stuff. Typically started that first inning with some fastballs. Now going into that mid-speed, the slider, the changeup. We haven't seen much of the curve yet, but he may pull it out.
Kicks and deals the 1-2. Upstairs, shoulder high for ball 2.
We talked about the lineup, too. The shortstop position, I would say, would be the most open area that Cincinnati has. Jackson Reardon, you may see Niehaus. Luke Sefcik may make an appearance there. Constant changing.
Here's the 2-2 to Niehaus, fouled it behind. That's one thing that this team has. Since they're really young, a lot of versatility. A guy like Christian Mitchell, who's a third baseman, he saw a lot of time in the outfield and even out of the bullpen a couple years ago. A lot of this team, they're versatile. They can play many positions. Here comes the 2-2 from Wallace. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wallace. 3 up, 3 down, go the Bearcats. To the top of the third we go. Cats up 2-0 on Bearcat Sports Radio. On a beautiful day at UC Baseball Stadium, Bearcats up 2-0 as we enter the top of the third. Logan Knight, the starter, still on the mound for Cincinnati. He has retired 6 of the 7 batters he's faced in this game so far.
Ground for Knight off to a great start. 4 strikeouts. He hasn't had the most productive way to the season so far, but looking to just hit a good clip today and punch out batters.
Here comes Cade Dotson, the third baseman, to lead off the top of the third. First pitch by Knight. This one's hit sharply to Coates, gloves it by himself, and taps on first for the first out.
I mean, putting the ball into the play, you're able to see the stuff for the Bears well, but defensively, Cincinnati's, you could say, first all the way over to third. Those are your top defenders, and they're going to dive, put their body on the line, ground it well. Not many errors so far for the Cats.
One away here in the top of the third. Cats up 2-0. Here comes Dylan Perez, the freshman. Made his first career start yesterday and notched his first career hit. First pitch by Knight. Outside for a ball, shoulder high. How about your first career hit being a double off of Nathan Taylor?
I mean, Nathan Taylor followed it up by striking him out, but he then also got a single back in the 7th, and, I mean, you're going to ride on that. That's a great thing to hold over.
The 1-0. Perez Whiffs on the breaking pitch, 83 miles an hour.
That was a nasty pitch. Just this little curveball that was perfectly placed in that bottom part of the zone, making Perez reach for it for the first strike.
Knight takes a deep breath, kicks and deals. Outside and down. Hit right behind home plate for ball number 2. Perez, a freshman from Bourne, Texas. He was an all-state recipient in high school. Hit .405 as a senior. Knight sends the 2-1. This one's hit right to Knight. He gloves it and flips it over to first for out number 2. Something about these Bearcat pitchers making good defensive plays to begin this series.
Third time it's happened this series where a ball has come off the bat and gone straight into the glove of the pitcher. I mean, you're noticing that they're putting it, the ball is hit middle pretty much, right into the middle of the bat, going into the middle of the field, but not enough power off of it, and you're setting up some easy outs.
And the lineup flips over for Baylor. It's Travis Sanders 0 for 1 today. Popped out the left field to begin the game. 2 away, top of the third. First pitch to Sanders. Fouls this one off towards the Bearcat dugout. A nice snag by one of the players as he leaned over the rail.
I'm trying to exactly see who it was. I can't tell based off the face. There's no number, but he hands it away, and I'm assuming he gave it to Buchkowski.
Knight deals the 0-1. Just outside for a ball. Sanders, he was the lone Baylor Bear named to the preseason All-Big 12 team. This Baylor team last year had 4 all-conference selections. 2 of them got drafted in Gabe Craig and Tyree Kemp. The 1-1 with 2 outs. Fouled behind off the netting. Sets up a 1-2 count.
Yeah, when Cincinnati, their home series so far against Big 12 play, that Utah series, they erupted for a lot of runs. You then play Kansas, and I mean, you're playing some top prospects in that Kansas game, a top-ranked team now, and then you're playing Baylor, a little bit of an easier series here today.
The 1-2, the pitch, outside. Once again, good block by Natili on the 1-hop. Saw that a lot between both catchers, having to make good stops, especially Kennett for Baylor yesterday. He was getting his pants dirty for sure. The 2-2. Just outside and away. Sets up a full count with 2 down.
Yeah, the catching for both teams, they've had to really dive for balls. We haven't seen many pass balls in this series so far, and it's been a fantastic, catcher's duel between Kennett and Natili. Which one will break first?
2 outs, top of the third. Bearcats up 2-0. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Natili flips over to first. It's 3 up, 3 down for the Baylor Bears. Strikeout number 5 for Logan Knight. To the bottom of the third we go. Cats up 2-0 on Bearcat Sports Radio. Bottom of the third here at UC Baseball Stadium. Cats up 2-0 over the Baylor Bears. The Cats scored 2 runs back in the first inning. That's been all the scoring we had so far in game number 2 of this 3-game series. Lineup flips over. It's Ryan Turansky, the leadoff batter, comes in to begin the bottom of the third.
And for Turansky, the last time up, grounded out. But you're coming off for Wallace back-to-back strikeouts to end that inning.
First pitch. Turansky watches a strike go by, lower half of the zone. Shift is in play towards the right side for Turansky, the lefty batter. You got Cade Dotson, the third baseman, playing right on the infield grass. The 0-1 to Turansky. He watches another strike go by. Turansky, he's been a big part of this lineup shift for Cincinnati. Someone who really began the year coming off the bench as a pinch hitter and a defensive replacement, now finds himself as a leadoff batter as he had to back off just a tad bit as he takes the ball.
The sophomore's hitting .342. I mean, 21 home runs, 51 RBIs. He has so much power on the bat.
Wallace kicks and deals. Coates rips one to right field, and it's down for a base hit. Januszek loves it on a one-hop, and it's a single for Quentin Coates, someone who has now logged a hit in 33 of his 37 games played.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just very impressive for a sophomore to do. Drawing a lot of attention overall just because of the power that he has and hitting for contact, hitting for power, and moving up into that second hole, get as many at-bats as you can get, get that spark that you need.
One away, bottom of the third. Cats up 2-0. Here comes Jackson Smith, the lefty. Takes a strike on the first pitch from Wallace. Smith, his 36th game played this year, making his 35th start. A transfer coming in from Bradley, where he hit .301 last year. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Nice breaking ball, but just outside for ball 1. Smith said he felt UC was a good place for him to get better. As he transferred over from Bradley, so far having a really good year with the Bearcats, hitting .316. The pitch takes a strike, lower half of the zone. Coates still on first base. It's a 1-2 count, one down, bottom of the third. Cats up 2-0. Wallace fires the 1-2. Smith takes one helmet high. Had to back away just a tad. Sets up a 2-2 count. Our sunscreen got yoinked by the security.
You may need to go and ask for it back later.
I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
The 2-2 from Wallace. Here it comes. Smith ropes one to right field, down for a base hit. Coates on his way to second, and it's back-to-back singles for the Bearcats with one out in the bottom of the third.
A great at-bat for Smith overall, just watching the ball, waiting for the right pitch, and swung on it perfectly for back-to-back singles for the Cats.
And that will bring up Jack Natili, who's hitting cleanup today for the Bearcats. Natili has started all 37 games for the Bearcats this season. He's second on the team with 39 runs driven in and 9 home runs. The pitch. Natili watches a breaking ball go by, but not there for a strike. He's up 1-0 in the count.
73 miles an hour from Wallace, his slowest pitch all day, and attempting to freeze Natili, make him bite on it, but he just stand up in the box and let that one go inside.
2 runners on for the Bearcats. Wallace is ready. The 1-0. This one's popped up right side, looking foul and out of play. All the kids are running by. Little do they know, the ball is out of the stadium.
I think you mentioned we have a no re-entry policy
That's
here.
very true, as it is with a lot of different ballparks around the country. Wallace looks back at second. The righty deals the 1-1. Big hack and a miss by Natili. Couldn't make contact on the 90-mile-an-hour pitch. Tilly drew a walk back in the first inning. The preseason All-American by perfect game awaits the 1-2. Tilly watches one go by, and he goes down looking for out number 2.
Yeah, that's the 4th strikeout for Wallace today. You get some of the top batters for the Bearcats and Baranski, Tilly, Mitchell, and Niehaus, and you're down to the heart of the order.
And that will bring up Derek Pitts, who singled back in the first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Cats up 2-0. Coates at second, Smith at first. Wallace kicks and fires. Pitts takes a pitch outside for ball 1.
Pitch reached on that single, and it was kind of a bobbled ball by the second baseman and Reebok for the Bears, and ended in an error for him. A run scored at the same time.
The 1-0. Pitts has to back up as he takes a ball. Pitts now 7 for his last 13. In that span, he's driven in a handful of runs and could do the same right here with 2 runners on for Cincinnati at first and second. 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. Cats up 2-0. The 2-0. Pitts takes one downstairs for ball 3. On deck, it's Enzo and Felice. If you are Wallace and this Bears team, you do not want to walk Pitts and have Infelice come up. The 3-0 pitch. And it's a give me ball. Try to locate the zone, and he could not. Bases are now loaded for Enzo Infelice.
Yeah, and for Felice, his last time up, got that single. And it was interesting. I mean, a bit of miscue on the running, the base pass for the Cats. But you have bases loaded, 2 outs. You're up 2 already. It's the bottom of the 3rd. Let the freshman shine. See if you can put it in play.
2 outs. Bases or juice for Enzo and Felice. First pitch. And Felice watches a strike go by, lower half of the zone at 90 miles an hour. Remember, he had the 2-run single yesterday. That was his lone hit of the series opener. And like you said, already has 1 today. Looking for some more damage and to break the game open for the Bearcats. The pitch, fouled it behind. A big hack by Infelice. Quickly down 0-2.
Felice is looking to put the ball in if he's able to. You can notice just all the infielders are backing up a little bit into the shallow of the outfield. The outfield is nearing the warning track, so a lot of space is opening up.
2 down. Wallace is ready. The 0-2. And Felice ropes it foul to right field. 92-mile-an-hour pitch. Took it the opposite way, but as I mentioned, fouled and out of play.
And a lot of power off the bat, too. If he put that one in play, it may have gotten over into that right field wall. Reaches up close to about, can't see exactly the right number, but I believe 320.
The 0-2. And Felice gets a piece of it, fouls it behind. For the dimensions at UC Baseball Stadium, it's 322 left and right, 395 to dead center, and the outfield wall is about 10 to 12 feet high. So home run robberies are very rare here at UC Baseball Stadium. Here comes the 0-2. And Felice, high swing, once again, fouls it off behind.
Bit of a question mark on that swing. The pitch was up near to where his helmet is and still wanted to take a hack at it.
And Felice, the freshman from New Lenox, Illinois. He flipped from Oklahoma. 13th overall recruit in the state of Illinois for his class. The 0-2, this one's hit on the line and through in the outfield. That scores 2 runs. It's another 2-run single from Enzo Infelice. Bearcats up 4-0 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Man, I mentioned to you, I love this kid. The power that he has on the bat, just able to put it into play. We said the number 12 recruit in the state of Illinois. Man, this guy's just a freshman. He's hitting well close to 350. Drives in 2 more runs, and now the Bearcats lead by 4.
That's now 5 runs driven in for Infelice in this series alone. The freshman having a big impact on this Bearcat squad. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Here comes Cal Sefcik. 0 for 1 today. Watches a ball go by on the first pitch to him in this at-bat.
And this inning did not start to what you would think. The strikeout, the single, and then it just started to continue to pour on. Hit after hit, drawing walks. Cincinnati's offensive production is not slowing down today.
All 4 of the Bearcats' runs have come with 2 outs in this game. The 1-0. This one's lifted to right field, shallow side. Janusik moves under it, raises his glove, and makes the grab for out number 3. The Bearcats add 2 more. A 2-run single from Enzo and Felice as the Bearcats ahead 4-0 as we head to the top of the 4th here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Top of the 4th here in Cincinnati. Bearcats up 4-0. This is a very important series for both teams. The Bearcats are currently 5 games out of first place in the conference. Baylor, they are 3 games back. But for Cincinnati, in how the Big 12 is so congested right now in the middle of the pack, they are a game out of 7th, and they're 2 games out of 4th. Series is very important for both sides.
It is, and especially for teams that are both coming off of losses in the series prior. They want wins. They want to just continue to climb in the standings.
Here comes Ty Johnson, 0 for 1 today. To begin the top of the 4th, Knight deals. It's upstairs helmet high for ball 1. A lot of intriguing series here in the Big 12 this week. You got Kansas hosting UCF. Jayhawks won 4-3 in 11 innings. Those 2 teams are now tied for first place in the conference. The 1-0 from Knight. This one's hit on the line to Smith. Over to first, out number 1.
It's a replica of exactly what happened to Johnson back in the first inning. A little ground ball that was picked up into the glove from Smith over to Coates. And Cincinnati's defense, they're shining today, only giving up that double back in the second inning to Reebok.
For Logan Knight, he has now retired 5 consecutive batters. Here comes Brady Janusek, 0 for 1 today. He struck out back in the first. The pitch. Janusek fouls it away left side towards the UC bullpen. Down the line it goes. A good effort by Cal Sefcik. Can't make the play as he slid into the fence of the Bearcats bullpen.
The slide he took the slide, I would say, about 10 feet before and just slammed right into that little netting where the bullpen is, and that ball was just going to bounce off and nowhere near it, but it's still a strike nevertheless.
You talk about it, only 1 hit today for the Bears. A double back in the second from Pearson Reebok. The 0-1. Janusek fouls this one off left side. Quickly down 0-2. How about yesterday, the biggest upset of the night in conference play? Utah beat number 18 Arizona State 10-4 in Phoenix. How about ASU's head coach and catcher Brody Briggs being ejected? Must have been a fun game. The 0-2, this one's tapped over. The Niehaus, long throw to first on a nice scoop, and it's out of the glove of Coates. Good effort, but That's been a big issue for the Bearcats. Infield errors. And Janusik is on board at first.
Yeah, and that throw it didn't look like it had enough on it either from Niehaus. And when you're playing shortstop, you're typically known as the best fielder out there on the field, able to just ground the ball, pick it up, and throw it over. But just was not able to throw it with enough power there, and the air will go on Coates.
That will bring up Tice Armstrong. As this one pops out of the glove of Natili. Officially an error. You got Janusik at first with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Baylor down 4-0. Armstrong struck out back in the 2nd inning. Knight looks back at first. Gets into his stance. Kicks and deals. Nice swing and a miss. Armstrong tried to hold his swing but went around for a 1-1 count.
And you also notice the outfield, the right fielder and Ryan Taransky will move back a little more just because there's a lot of power off the bat of Armstrong.
Throw back to first. Forces Coates off the bag. We saw that yesterday for Baylor, in which their pitcher, Lucas Davenport, tried to throw back but missed his first baseman. And I believe that allowed Coates to go to second. Nothing is a guarantee nowadays. Here's another throwback. This one a little bit closer, but Janusik is safe. He's someone that has 13 stolen bags this season for the Bears.
We haven't seen many stolen bags this series so far, but still consistently checking on the runner at first and trying to get the pickoff.
The 1-1 falls in for a strike. Armstrong down 1-2 in the count. 1 away, top of the 4th, Cats up 4-0. Janusik, a lead off at first. Knight is ready. Here's the pitch. This one's tapped over to Smith, the second baseman. Sidearm throw to first for out number 2. Throw over to second base off the glove of Niehaus. Ends up in the outfield. Janusik on his way to third, and he slides in safely. Another infield error by the Bearcats in this top frame of the 4th.
Yeah, and we mentioned Quentin Coates. That's, I believe, his 9th error this season. His 8th error this season, and nothing that you want to see out of a guy who's a prolific hitter. And it kind of talk to you. If he wants to make that jump to possibly going to the MLB, there's a lot of power off the bat. It's just the fielding needs to get a little better.
2 away, top of the 4th. Here comes Hunter Snow, 0 for 1 today. Runner on third. Snow takes a pitch outside for a ball. And that's the thing that kind of comes in with a young team. They're going to have errors. And for them, the kryptonite for Cincinnati has been the infield errors. Here's the 1-0. Fouled away left side. This one ends up off the netting. It was a flare. I thought it was going to go out of play, but Mitchell gave a good effort. But back to that Coates throw. I see the vision of trying to have a heads-up play, but ultimately off the glove of Niehaus, he had to jump up, went off of his glove into the outfield.
Yeah, it was a very quick throw, and sometimes it just takes patience knowing, hey, I'm not going to get this guy out in this time.
Snow awaits the 1-1, the pitch. In there for a strike. 81 miles an hour from Logan Knight.
And the home plate umpire, Dave Buck, has kind of, I would say, expanded the lower part of the zone today for Knight and giving him some free passes here and there, but it's been an even game called.
Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss way out in front of that one. Niehaus throws to third, and the Bears leave the runner on third base stranded. Cats up 4-0, heading to the bottom of the 4th here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Bottom of the fourth here at UC Baseball Stadium. Cats up 4-0. Zach Wallace still on the mound for the Bears. He has given up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. First pitch to Mitchell. Bottom corner away for a strike. Mitchell confirms the call with the home plate umpire. Mitchell struck out back in the second. Here comes the 0-1. Mitchell fouls it up. Behind into the seats. And someone has a souvenir.
Gotta ask you, of all the baseball games you've been to, have you ever caught a foul ball or gotten one?
I don't know about a foul ball. I've gotten batting practice pitches and balls, I guess. Chilling out pregame at Progressive Field. Not here, Progressive Field.
Yeah.
I should have clarified that. The 0-2 to Mitchell. Swing gonna miss. Another strikeout for Christian Mitchell. That is number 6 on the day for Wallace, and there's one away in the bottom of the fourth.
Number 19.
Make that number 5, not 6. Good call by Casey Stevens. Could have been jumping the gun here, you think?
I mean, if you're going to call Niehaus getting struck out again.
First pitch. This one's hit sharply to the third baseman, Dotson. Throws a C to first, out number 2.
That was quick. Back-to-back outs, 1 pitch swing from Niehaus, and not a good start for, you could say, the 7 through 9, but now you turn over to the top of the order with Taransky. Struck out his last time up, but that was just an inning ago, looking to get on base here for the Cats.
2 away, bottom of the fourth. Cats up 4-0. Ryan Taransky, the leadoff hitter, subs into the box. The lefty hitter currently on a 4-game hitting streak. First pitch by Wallace. This one's popped up left side, going into the bleachers, onto the concourse. And there's a souvenir. The kids run up, and the old man grabs the ball, flips it to a fan. Oh, the kid dropped it. It goes down the steps. There's a scrum for it. And the kid with the green shorts has his first souvenir of the game, it looks like.
I don't think that was an old man. I think that was a college student here.
The 0-1 upstairs for ball 1.
From a distance, I could see it, but
looks like he's a wife. I don't know, man.
middle-aged.
Middle-aged, yeah, that works.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to ask that. I'm classify what the age of old would be for you, but.
Well, because I get called Unc all the time. The 1-1. Niehaus fouls it away left side. Out of play towards the street where a bunch of cars are usually going. I always wondered if a ball ever gets hit by a car.
That one came close, and Taransky, I mean, fouling it away again. But, I mean, he's down in the count, 1-2, 2 outs on the board. Cincinnati's production has been slowed slightly.
The 1-2 upstairs. I was going to say, in the last 7 innings, excluding this one for the Bearcats, they have scored 13 runs off of 12 hits. They have 4 runs today, 2 in the first, 2 in the third, off of 5 hits. Wallace deals the 2-2. Taransky hits one to the second baseman in shallow right field. Throws to first. 3 up, 3 down for the Bearcats.
Good shift.
To the top of the 5th we go. Cats up 4-0 on Bearcat Sports Radio. Top of the fifth here at UC Baseball Stadium. Cats up 4-0 here in game 2 of our series. Logan Knight entering his 5th inning of work. The last time the Bearcats got 5 or more quality innings on a Saturday or middle game of a weekend series was 4 weeks ago at BYU in their 9-7 victory. Here comes Pearson Reebok, 1-for-1 today. First pitch, in there for a strike. That's been a key issue for the Bearcats in conference play. Their starters outside of Nathan Taylor just really haven't been consistent.
Yeah, it's forced them to go deep into their bullpen, and we've seen the strain on some arms.
The 0-1 from Knight. This one's hit sharply. Nice sliding grab made on a hop. This one, good scoop by Coates, but not in time. You saw Smith had a little bit of a bobble there at second base, and Reebok is on board.
The catcher.
I mean, it looked like Smith got his glove on it, stopped it in front of him, had to pick it up with his right hand to throw it over, and the throw was a little more to the right of Coates instead of straight at him into the chest, and it will allow a single to be hit. Only the second hit all day.
That will bring up J.J. Kennett, the catcher, who was 0-for-1 today. First pitch by Knight, big hack and a miss, a slight tip for a foul ball by Kennett. Nobody out in the top of the fifth. The Bears have been pretty quiet offensively. Only 2 hits on the day, as you just mentioned. If you think about it, they've scored 0 runs in the past 12 innings. Knight goes over to first to keep the runner Reebok honest.
And you bring up the stat of them just being scoreless for over 12 innings, and that's something to look at. Just the amount of hits that they can collect as a team, they just can't finish out the rest of the inning.
Knight kicks and deals. Big swing and a miss by Kennett. Their only run of the series came back in the first inning of yesterday. That came with 2 outs. Since then, a big fat 0 across the rest of the innings. Reebok a lead off of first. Another throwback to Coates as Reebok slides in head first once again.
Gotta mention how the wind may not play a factor, starting to pick up here, now coming from left into right field.
Still a sunny day, beautiful weather in Cincinnati. The 0-2. This one's hit slowly to Niehaus. The shortstop taps on second. Over to first. Double play.
Great heads-up play by Niehaus. The ball was throwing him already towards the second base bag. Scooped it up, stepped on the bag, and then just a direct shot over to the Coates for the double play ball.
The third baseman, number 3.
For Logan Knight, his pitch count is in the high 50s. And we're 2 outs into the top of the fifth. It may be one of those days in which the Bearcat starters may have another long outing.
It could potentially be that there is some action in the bullpen. It was empty through the first 4 innings, but Jordan Bishop has thrown a few guys in there just to possibly get warm. No idea how long the leash is on Knight.
First pitch to Dodson as he fans on the breaking pitch, 81 miles an hour with 2 outs in the top of the fifth. Last week, the UC starters combined to throw only 10 2/3 innings pitched, allowing 17 runs and 16 of them earned. Dodson fouls one off right side. Good snag by the Baylor first base coach.
We got to see if he'll throw one up here to us. You know, we got to put our hand up, and I don't know if he'll do that for a Cincinnati fan.
I don't know. You got a Little League team in row number 1. I think they might get the first dibs.
May have to run down there and try and dive for one if I can.
2 away, 0-2 count. Shift and play towards the right side for the lefty Dodson. Knight is ready, sends a pitch. This one's fouled away right side once again. With the starting pitching, head coach Jordan Bishop said, we need guys to be more consistent. This Bearcat squad has a lot of pitching depth, some that they haven't seen this deep in a very long time, but they just haven't been consistent. As the Tilly will come up to the mound and talk to Logan Knight.
Yeah, with 2 outs on the board, and it's an 0-2 count, just check in on your pitcher saying, hey, you've thrown a fantastic game. so far. Just keep it up, right? See what we can do, change up something. He's stayed alive at the at-bat overall for Dodson, and 0-1 on the day. Last time up, he was a ground out and just taken by Coates over to first. So put the ball in play, get the bats going, see if they can ride any momentum. You've only had 2 hits in the game from Reebok today.
2 outs, top of the 5th. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's roped to right field. Taransky to his left, and this one is off the wall. On his way to second is Dotson, and he's in with another 2-out hit. This time a sliding double.
You got to wonder what that meeting was now about Natili, and now you're just saying what exactly was talked about. Maybe change something, and Dodson made the adjustment, saw the ball, and hit it deep into right field, off the wall, and got himself a double, so the 3rd hit of the day.
2 away, top of the 5th. Cats up 4-0 over the Baylor Bears. Here comes Dylan Perez, the freshman. Big swing and a miss, but got a foul tip of it. Sent it behind him. Down 0-1 in the count. In this game, as you mentioned, Baylor with 3 hits, all of them by lefty hitters. That's been a problem for Cincinnati, getting out lefty batters. The 0-1 from Knight is outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and if you're Logan Knight, you may be a little shaken up. You let this inning open up with a single, and you get that double play ball. It's just shallow hit, and then giving up another hit.
Knight deals the 1-1 to Perez. Outside for a ball. 2-1 count, 2 outs, top of the 5th. Baylor, a runner at second base, and Dodson looking for their first run of the game. And their first run in 13 innings. The 2-1. Another hack and a miss. Chase, the breaking pitch, low and away for strike 2.
Seeking that extra strikeout, possibly getting his 7th, and then you wonder, will he be in for that next inning of work, or will the leash be pulled in Jordan Bishel? There's some movement in the bullpen for the Cats.
The 2-2 pitch. Downstairs took a 1-hop behind the plate to Natili. We saw yesterday Nathan Taylor went 100 pitches and beyond. So far, Knight in the mid-60s. Only giving up 3 hits, no runs. You would probably expect him to come out for the 6th. The payoff pitch, and he walked Perez. Now it's runners on first and second. The lineup turns over for the Baylor Bears with 2 down.
The shortstop, number 6.
And you're looking, especially, you can see Jordan Bishel kind of going, possibly making that call to the bullpen, saying, let's warm up. Chad Brown's down there. Yeah, Buchakowski as well. You could possibly get some of your younger guys, get them the experience, especially with the 4 runs of insurance that you already have.
2 outs. Here comes Travis Sanders, 0 for 2 today. The righty batter watches the ball go by inside. For Sanders, he was drafted in the 14th round of the 2022 MLB draft by the Boston Red Sox, but decided to come to Baylor. The pitch, outside. I should clarify, he started his first 2 years at Texas Tech, then transferred to Waco to play for the Bears. And here comes the pitching coach to talk to Logan Knight. First 2 batters gave up a single, but then had that crucial double play. But since then, just hasn't been able to get some of these batters out. Gave up a double and walked Perez here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and the Bears have done, you could say, fantastic with the 2-out counts today. You have left on some runners on the bags, and I mean, you're in Logan Knight's head so far. You started off with that single, gave the Cats a bit of momentum with that double play ball from Kennett, but then a double and then drawing the walk was Perez, and now you're back to the top of the order with Sanders. He's up in the count, 2-0. You still have 2 outs on the board, and if I'm the pitching coach for Cincinnati, I'm telling Knight, hey, I need you to produce here. 2 outs on the board, running in scoring position for the Bears. We're up 4. Don't allow this to slip away.
And this has been a situation in which the Baylor Bears, they have stride with 2 outs here in this series. Runners on first and second. Bears down 4-0 in the top of the 5th, 2 away. Sanders awaits the 2-0 from Knight. The pitch. This one's hit the Mitchell at third base. Bobbled it. Does he get the tag? And he does not. All runners are safe. And the bases are juiced for Ty Johnson with 2 down.
Wow, is all I can say after that. I mean, Christian Mitchell got his glove on it, collected it, attempted to go for the tag off of the runner going to third and Dodson instead of the traditional throw to first, but he paid the price. Another error on the Bearcats, their 3rd of the day.
And Dodson, who slid into third base, is shaken up. He's working out his right arm, trying to stretch out his shoulder, it looks like. He did slide head first, tried to avoid the tag by Mitchell, and he did. But another chance for the Bearcats to get out of the inning. And now the potential game-tying run comes to the plate in Ty Johnson, who is a lefty as well, so he has the advantage against the right-handed pitcher in Logan Knight.
Center fielder, number 23, Ty Johnson.
Dodson looks to be okay. He is at third. Perez at second. Sanders at first. 2 away. Top of the 5th. Bears down 4-0. Here's Ty Johnson 0 for 2 today. Knight kicks and fires. First pitch chopped over. The coach, the first baseman, throws. The Knight taps on the bag. And that's your 3rd out of the top of the 5th. Bearcats get out of the jam. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Cats up 4-0 on Bearcat Sports Radio.
We're back in the Queen City. Bottom of the 5th action. Up to bat is Quentin Coates. Single his last time up. Casey Stevens with Christian Pagan. Up there on the mound still for the Bears. Zach Wallace. He's given up 4 runs and 5 hits. First pitch to Coates. Watches it go down low and finds the zone for strike 1. So Coates on the day. 1 for 2. Hitting .346. 51 RBIs and 21 home runs. The sophomore stands tall in the box and awaits the pitch. The delivery, Coates fouls it into the glove of Kennett for strike 2. An 0-2 count now for Coates. No outs on the board, bottom of the 5th. A 4-run lead for the Bearcats after the Bears held 3 on base. The pitch to Coates up high, and he leans back for a ball. At 90-mile-an-hour off speed. Have to say off speed for Wallace since he can top nearing 95. So Coates a 1-2 count. Stands tall in the box. The stride and the delivery from Wallace. Coates fouls it away off the dugout of the Bearcats on that third base line. Stay alive in the count. He'll take a few steps out of the box and regain himself. Cincinnati fans starting to clap a little, getting him the momentum he may need. He's leading off here for the Bearcats in the bottom of the fifth. Singled in the third. Stands tall in the box. Deep breath from Wallace on the mound. He steps off and to regain himself, and the time will be called. Kennett checking just the pitch call from his watch. Reset the clock. The 20-second pitch clock reset. Coates steps back into the box. His right foot on the back of the white line. Stands tall and awaits. Wallace up there on the mound for the Bears. Brings the glove to his chest. Now gets in his stance, and here's the delivery. Coates swings on it for strike 3. So Quentin Coates goes down swinging. The first time for him today, but the 7th strikeout for Wallace. And Jackson Smith will come up to bat for the Bearcats. Singled his last time up and reached base twice with his hit by pitch back in the first. 1 for 1, 1 out on the board in the bottom of the 5th. Bearcats lead 4-0. First pitch to Smith will find the zone for strike 1. Casey Stevens with Christian Pagan after he comes back from special assignment to find, I believe, some sunscreen.
Mission was successful.
I'm glad. The sun's coming down a little more. Wallace delivery to Smith. Fouled away on that first base side for the second strike. 0-2 after Coates went down swinging. 1 out on the board in the bottom of the 5th. The Bearcats lead 4-0 in the second game of the series. Wallace steps back up onto the mound. Regain himself with that pitch clock. Dipping now under 9 seconds. Brings the glove to his chest, and now the delivery to Smith is outside for ball 1.
This will probably be his last inning of work. His pitch count in the upper 80s. I believe this will be his 90th pitch. Baylor looking for him to close the inning.
Wallace delivers. Smith watches it go downstairs for ball 2.
I think it's important to say we can't see into the Baylor bullpen from our first base spot, so it's going to be a surprise to us, to whoever comes out.
Definitely will be. Wallace may try and get himself out of this inning. Here's the delivery to Smith. Fouls it away into the section and caught directly by one of the fans here. Child gets it cleanly, 2 hands for a souvenir.
He's shaking off his left hand like, ow, that hurts.
Jackson Smith, the 2-2 count, 1 out on the board, the bottom of the 5th. The delivery from Wallace. Smith skies it up, shallow left field. Going under it is Perez. He collects it cleanly for the second out.
I think this is an important note. So right now the sun, its position kind of just left of the left field foul pole, high in the sky. If you are a left fielder, you're not looking up into the sun. It's kind of in the corner of your eye. If you are the right fielder in this game, when you look up, you're looking directly at the sun. But because the clouds are so thin, it should not be an issue to locate the ball.
First pitch to Natilli is inside for ball 1, and a big difference from the weather from today compared to yesterday. A bit of gloom, gray skies. The game was moved up an hour early due to possible thunderstorms, and today a perfect day. Wallace brings the ball up to his chest and delivers his second pitch. Goes inside again for ball 2.
Did you see the weather for tomorrow?
I've not.
85 degrees. Wow. Very lucky that the game is being played at 11, so it shouldn't be too bad, but it's still going to be toasty.
Wallace now delivers. Inside again, he's hit the same spot 3 times in a row for a ball. 2 outs on the board. Here in the bottom of the 5th, the Bearcats lead 4-0. Casey Stevens with Christian Pagan. Bearcat Sports Radio. Wallace delivers. This one launched into shallow left, takes a bounce and goes into the glove of Perez. Natilli gets back on first for a single.
111 off the bat. A rocket truly into left center. 2-out inning has been good for both teams so far. Now it's coming for the Bearcats.
Overall for both teams, they've excelled at 2-out hitting. Wallace steps back onto the rubber, leans and squats, brings the glove up to his chest for the delivery. Watches the first pitch go inside for ball one. Takes his time to walk back up to the rubber and leans. Runner on first and Tilly for the Bearcats. 2 outs on the board. The pitch launched into right center. Will it go? And it will! Derek Pitt, the 2-run shot, extends the lead to 6 for the Bearcats.
It's a good piece of hitting by Derek Pitts. Goes 376 to right center. He's a righty batter, so a little bit of the opposite field. 1-2 off the bat. Breaking pitch at 88 miles an hour. And this was an opportunity for the pitcher, Wallace, to get out of the inning. But with 2 outs, we talked about the hitting has been well. And now 6-0 for Bearcats.
Cincinnati thrived in those 2-out counts. Both teams have done significantly well. 2 outs on the board. Enzo Infelice, the freshman, has singled twice today. Now a mound visit. This may be the end for Wallace. I mean, the outing today, 6 runs given up through 4 2/3, 7 hits, 1 error by the fielding for the Bears today. This will be it for Zach Wallace. Don't know exactly who will come in for the Bears yet. But the outing, I mean, other than the 2-run shot that was just given up, very productive.
It's very sporadic, I'd say. You know, for someone to put in this situation against this good Bearcat team that's really finding the rhythm, especially after the lineup change, that's always a difficult thing to do. This Bearcat team, they're starting to find their rhythm. And for the pitcher, Wallace, just a few bad pitches, that's all. Especially on that home run right there to Derek Pitts. Other than that, you know, it wasn't a bad outing. It's just that his offense is not giving him any work to deal with. There's no room for him to work with.
So Wallace will come out after a 7 strikeout performance, giving up 6 runs, all of them earned, and 7 hits. The Bearcats scored in the first, the third, and now 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs on the board. We'll take a short break on Bearcat Sports Radio to have all the information you need to know about the new righty on the mound for the Bears. We're back in the Queen City and a new righty on the bump for the Bears today, and Charlie Atkinson.
Righty pitcher from Katy, Texas, enters his junior year of college. A transfer from Dallas Baptist, you know, another one of those really good D1 schools. So far this season for Atkinson, his 15th appearance out the pen, 1-0 record, 3.38 ERA, 21 1/3 innings pitched.
He'll face Infelice. First pitch is hacked on for strike 1.
Defensive change for Baylor in for the Bears. Number 2, Britt Clements at third base.
Third base change will be Brett Clements instead of Dodson. Skied up and fouled into the section of the students. Takes a bounce. I can't tell if anyone collected it, but I think it may have fallen just into the netting.
I don't get it, man. I feel like every time there's a pop-up into foul territory, into the stands, people just, like, freeze a bit. Like, they don't know how to react.
I don't know how I would react. Here's Atkinson. Sliced on and fouled away for Infelice.
Real quick for Clements, for him to come in at third for Dodson, who was shaken up on that slide in the last inning, maybe thinks you wonder, is he not fit enough to play in the rest of this game?
Atkinson's winds. Infelice hits it well. It's in the glove of Sanders, thrown over to Armstrong for the third out. So Cincinnati gets 2 more added after the 2-run shot from Pitts. But a ground out to end the 5th inning. It's a 6-run lead for the Bearcats. We'll be back on Bearcat Sports Radio for top of the 6th action. We're back in the Queen City. Casey Stevens with Christian Pagan leading off Brady Janusek. Reached base the last time off of the air of Quentin Coates. But a 6-run lead for the Bearcats.
A nice shadow now over the ballpark. Could make things a lot easier to track down these fly balls.
Here's Knight on the mound. Glove up to his face. Brings it to his chest, and first pitch is in the zone for strike 1. It's nice. The shadow comes down. The sunscreen has been applied for both of us, so no chance that we have to get sunburn.
At least you think that.
We've been there before. At least I've been. Knight down low for ball 1. I've gotten sunburn here. It was very nice that the fans brought me sunscreen. They also brought us these nice, comfortable, portable chairs that we can use.
That's true. No, they're very comfortable.
Knight fouled away by Janusek for strike 2. So Brady Janusek a 1-2 count. No outs on the board on the top of the 6th inning. A 6-run lead for the Bearcats. The righty steps back into the box. That right foot back on that white line. Face into the glove for Knight. And the pitch is swung on for strike 3. Logan Knight gets another strikeout on the day.
Number 7 for him. He's having himself a really good outing so far. This was much needed for the Bearcats, especially from their Saturday starter and deep into the rotation where it's kind of uncertain. This is a really good performance and a much needed one from Logan Knight.
Logan Knight been productive for the Bearcats today. Stands on the bump. First pitch for Armstrong is in the zone for strike 1. Now he comes again. Down low for ball 1. He's like to attack that bottom half of the zone today, Chris, and he's used it very well.
He's got a lot of good off speeds. A lot of his strikeouts have been swinging way, way below in the zone.
The pitch is inside for ball 2.
I'm talking on pitches in which Natilli, he's literally gloving them on the ground. Like they are chasing deep into the lower half of the plate.
Movement for Knight has been well, and here's the pitch. Skied up and fouled behind the concourse for strike 2.
We have a fan out there who just caught one. There's someone camping out like a Zach Campbell.
I don't think many people saw him, so he was just celebrating with himself there. He gave him the fist bump of approval. Knight, pitch down low for a full count now to Armstrong.
That's the type of pitch that they've been swinging at. If he can just locate it over the zone, but directly below, that one was a bit outside, but trying to entice him to chase.
Struck out already today. This one hit hard into the gap between second and third and rolled in to left field. Pick up by Sefcik. He throws it in to Smith, but a single for Armstrong with one out on the board.
I wish we had the stat for how many hits they had with 2 strikes. We talk about the 2-out hitting, but how about the 1 to 2 strikes? Especially yesterday in the first half of the game, it was really timely hitting for the Bears, and that's been carrying over so far in this game. They're getting the right hits. They just can't string them together to produce runs.
Brings up Hunter Snow. Struck out twice today. Runner on first for the Bears. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Mentioned the 2 outs and the 2 strike hitting. I believe yesterday against Nathan Taylor, they hit 4 of the 7 and 2 strike counts. Knight. Pitch is into the zone for strike 1.
Pitch count mid-80s. I'm going to expect this is probably the last inning of action for Logan Knight.
No call yet from Bischel. Puts up the signal. Knight stands on the mound, takes a breath. Pitch is hit on well, off of the foot of Coates, past the glove of Smith. Hunter Snow reaches on first, and now over to third is Armstrong.
Wow, error. That should be an error, and what is likely to be error number 4 for Cincinnati. 2 of them coming by Coates. That one hit to him on a bullet, just couldn't field it, and you talked about it in the pregame and early in this game itself. Yes, he does have a good bat, but is he the best defensive first baseman? He's quite not there yet.
Been in his head today. Runners on the corners for the Bears. Knight takes a breath. The pitch swung on high into that left field area. Sefcik under it, collects it, throws it in, holds the runners back on third. So well defensive efforts by the Bearcats, and Sefcik's strong arm towards Armstrong over on third.
Beautiful throw right there. Got under it, got the steps right, and launched it right to home plate. It was cut off by Mitchell. That's a really good throw. It keeps Armstrong at third base. You need strong arms in the outfield, and the Bearcats have one in left with Cal Sefcik. That's one of the boosts that we talk about that doesn't really get noticed, is the arm strength that the outfielders may have.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs on the board. Knight, first pitch to Kennedy, swung on for strike 1. J.J. Kennett 0-2 on the day, strikeout victim of Knight's back in the second inning. He grounded out into a double play his last time up. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Knight puts the ball in play, bounces it back into his glove. He tosses it over to Coates and gets out of it. Logan Knight has been efficient for the Bearcats today. They lead 6-0. We'll be back on Bearcat Sports Radio for bottom of the 6th action. Back in Cincinnati. We're bottom of the sixth action. The Bearcats lead 6-0. Casey Stevens alongside me is Christian Pagan. And Chris, it's been a very efficient defensively for both teams, just errors, but neither team has been able to capitalize.
Cincinnati, I can't believe this. Baylor has 0 runs, and the Bearcats have 4 errors. That is unbelievable. Yesterday, the Bearcats took advantage of the errors by Baylor.
Atkinson, first pitch is in the zone to Sepsic for strike 1.
Baylor has 4 hits. That's the same amount of errors Cincinnati has in this game, and yet they have 0 runs. That's insane.
The delivery is hit on well into the glove of the shortstop and Sanders. Grounds it and thrown over to Armstrong for the first out.
That's a good stop right there by Armstrong. You saw, at least from our vantage point, he's throwing right at us. I thought that was going to take the foot of Armstrong off the bag, but you know, he has a big frame. He's able to reach out and get that ball for the first out.
Brings up Christian Mitchell. 2 strikeouts for him on the day. You mentioned he struggled. I believe he's 1 of 27 his last time. First pitch to him is a bunt attempt. Up into the air and fouled behind home plate.
For Mitchell, he's 1 for his last 28 with 11 strikeouts.
Not something that you want to see from someone who's consistently in the middle part of your order. Now finds the 8th spot. Seth Gavalier will deliver us some water. Fantastic. And we have some of the top ESPN Plus people coming to help us out today.
This is an A-team crew. Alex Perez, you got Troy on 2, Seth Walk, oh my goodness.
Pitch outside for ball 1. 1-1 count for Mitchell. Steps out of the box, steps back in, taps home plate with his bat twice and brings it up. The wind is hit hard well into center field. Can it go off the wall? And it does. A bouncer. Johnson trying to track it well. Mitchell, stand-up double for himself. His first hit of the day after being struck out twice.
That right there is a much-needed hit by Christian Mitchell. A play like that can really turn someone's confidence upside down. As I mentioned, he was 1 for his last 28. Gets on the board with a double. That is a good hit, and I'm really happy for him. I hope he can turn it around because in a sport like baseball in which you're under a slump and things aren't going your way, it can be really tough. That was a really good sight, and I'm happy to see Mitchell got on board the hit.
Of the 8 hits today for the Bearcats, 6 different players have made contact with the ball. Mitchell attempting to steal third. It will hit the back of Charlie Niehaus, so he will get hit by pitch and advance over to first.
That might be the first time ever that the Bearcats are upset that they got a free passage. Mitchell was aggressive, was on his way to third. He would have gotten there safely too, but Niehaus got plunked. Something you can't really control, but hey, you'll take runners on first and second.
Runners on first and second for the Bearcats, 1 out on the board. They lead 6-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Brian Charansky, yesterday after his 3-double performance, he went 3 of 4 on the day, drew a walk, has gone 0 of 3. Grounded out twice with a strikeout. Runner in scoring position for the Bearcats. Bunt attempt in the dirt, picked up by Kennick. 1-0 count now to Turansky. Steps out of the box and steps back in. The lefty. Left foot's on that back line of the batter's box. Brings the bat up and rests it on his shoulder. Bunt attempt taken away again for ball 2. 2-0 count to Tyransky. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 out on the board.
Yeah, no doubt. You're trying to get those 2 runners into scoring position by laying down a bunt. Quinn Coates on deck.
Atkinson will check on the runner over on second. And Mitchell. So you have Mitchell on second and Niehaus on first. You turn over to the top of the order, and this is where it gets a little dangerous because you know you have Coates even if you have an out here. Deep breath from Atkinson. Bunt attempt laid down on that third base line. Beautifully placed. The throw over to first, not in time. Bases loaded with one out on the board for the Cats, and Quentin Coates is up to bat.
Job well done. I mean, it's a perfectly placed push bunt down the third base side. It forces Clements to run up on it. Taransky has a lot of speed. It was a good effort by the third baseman Clements, but just could not get Taransky in time. That was the goal. Move the 2 runners into scoring position. The bonus, you get Taransky at first. The extra double bonus, you got Quinn Coates coming up to the plate.
Coates with bases loaded, and now could be the end of the day for Atkinson. A mound visit. We'll wait the call to see if this may be it for him.
I don't think so, because you got the righty-on-righty matchup. The Baylor bullpen does have a lot of lefties. I would not imagine to go to the pen here, because if it was a lefty batter, I'd get it. But with Coates being a righty, I think they're going to stick it out and just try everything they can to get a double play. Throwing a lot of off-speed low. Try to force some contact in the infield to turn 2.
Coates on the day singled. He popped out. The catcher back in the first, and he struck out his last time up. He had that game-winning home run yesterday in the bottom of the 8th for the Bearcats, winning by run rule 11-1. First game of the series. Second game of the series, bases juiced, 1 out on the board. 6-run lead for the Bearcats. Coates awaits. Here's the pitch. This one hit hard into the glove of the shortstop, and Sanders over to Reebok, and a double play ball for Armstrong. So Cincinnati strands the bases loaded. Another out on the board, no runs scored, but they lead 6-0 here on Bearcat Sports Radio. We'll be back for top of the 7th action. Back in the Queen City. Top of the 7th action, Casey Stevens. Alongside me is Christian Pagan. And a bit of a change is Clements up to bat for the Bears. Knight has the glove up to his face. Clements rounds the bat a few times and now stands tall in the bat. First pitch is low for ball 1.
Yeah, for Dotson, back in the 5th, when he slid into 3rd, escaping the Mitchell tag, he was working out his right shoulder, which is his dominant hand, rather arm. So you got to wonder if that's a concern.
The pitch is up high for ball 2, and nothing that you want to see is anyone getting injured. And, I mean, from our vantage point, it didn't look like it was that serious, but the trainer went out to check in on him. The pitch is low and in the zone for strike 1. So Clements, where's number 2, Stands at 6'2", 179 pounds. The redshirt freshman awaits the pitch. Slices on it. Picked up into the glove of the third baseman for the Bearcats and Mitchell, and he swings it over to Coates for the first out of the inning.
I think Clements thought that was foul initially because he did not have any urgency coming out of the box. Mitchell thought that was fair from the get-go. He immediately fielded it, went over the first. So far, so good. And I expect Knight to have a very short leash in this inning.
He's been productive today for the Bearcats. Collecting 7 strikeouts, only giving up 4 hits. To bat is Dylan Perez. He walked his last time up. Swings on it for strike 1.
This will be his 94th pitch. We saw Taylor yesterday go beyond 100.
So possibly hitting the century mark today. Not much action in the bullpen. Here's Knight. Outside and away for ball 1. So Perez grounded out his first time up in the third, walked his last time up. Yesterday collected his first ever career hit. Stands tall in the box. Here's Knight. Outside again for ball 2.
I think it's Chad Brown that keeps getting loose. This time it looks like he's actually warming up. He's probably going to be the first option out the pen today.
Chad Brown, effective freshman. Here's Knight. This pitch is swung on high. Into the warning tracks, the right fielder, and Turansky's under it for the second out. So a ground out from Clements, and then a fly out from Perez into right field. We'll turn over the order and go to Travis Sanders. Reached on that infield hit back in the 5th. Strikeout victim of Knight in the 3rd and flew out his first time up. Sun coming down here in Cincinnati. Knight stands, glove to his chest. Swung on for strike 1. Sanders the shortstop. It's been productive so far today for the Bears. Steps back into the box and swings his bat a few times and brings it up to his head. Here's the pitch. Down low for ball 1.
Here comes pitch number 99 right here.
The 99th pitch from Knight. Glove to his chest. The leg gets pushed down, and it's fouled away. 1-2 count to Sanders with 2 outs on the board here in the top of the 7th. The Bearcats lead 6-0. We haven't seen many pitchers for the Bearcats who've started go 100 pitches back-to-back. But here's Knight. Taylor went 104 yesterday. Knight grabs the grip on the ball, and the delivery is down low for ball 2.
That's a good note. I wonder when the last time Cincinnati had back-to-back starters go for over 100 pitches.
You're normally my stats guy.
Well, I get my stats from someone else most of the time.
Knight. The pitch is fouled away behind home plate. 2-2 count now to Travis Sanders, 0-3 on the day. The redshirt junior entered today with 22 RBIs. Knight has had a productive outing, only giving up 4 hits today. Offensively, Cincinnati's committed 4 errors, but have not allowed any runs to be scored. Knight puts it in place for strike 3. Logan Knight having himself a day. Completes 7 innings of work for himself, his 8th strikeout. Bearcats lead 6-0 here on Bearcat Sports Radio. We'll be back for bottom of the 7th action. back in Cincinnati for bottom of the 7th action. Up to bat is Jackson Smith. First pitch is a strike. Bearcats lead 6-0. Casey Stevens with Christian Begon. And Chris, Cincinnati's offensive production has been very well put together today.
It's very sporadic, too.
Pitch from Atkinson is up high for ball 1.
And what I mean by that is they've done it by all means. You know, you had the 2-run homer from Derek Pitts. You had the single come in from Enzo and Felice. A couple of bunts as well. Bishable.
The pitch is in the zone for strike 2 to Smith. He's 1 of 2 on the day. Singled back in the 3rd. Was hit by pitch to start this game in the 1st. Yo waits. Swung on, popped up. In the infield, the shortstop and Sanders is under it to collect it for out number 1.
So far for Cincinnati, everyone but Sefcik and Niehaus, your 7 and 9 hole hitters, have recorded a hit. So it's been a very well distributed day for the UC Bats.
They've collected 9 hits, scored 6 runs, and the biggest issue today has just been the fielding for the Bearcats. 4 errors. First pitch is fouled away by Natili. 1 and 2 on the day. He walked to start his day, struck out in the 3rd, and then singled and rounded all the bases after the 2-run shot from Pitts. Natili awaits. Not about swing, but it's appealed over to first, and he did not go around. So it'll be a ball, 1-1 count with 1 out on the board.
I think the key thing is the Bearcats have been advancing the runners when the opportunity is there. They are 6 for 9 with runners on. Baylor, 0 for 9.
Atkinson puts the ball way past, but it may be, I believe, fouled away.
He went around. It skipped by the catcher. Kennett.
I wish we had instant replay here just to see, because that one was way outside, and he still went all the way around for it. Atkinson now steps into it. That one, short hopped, one-handed by the catcher over the head of Armstrong. Until he reaches on first with a 1-2 count.
It was a weird play. It was a off the end of the bat kind of hit, just barely in the infield grass. A nice one-handed grab by Kennett. Try to fire it in just a tad high off the first baseman, Tice Armstrong. That allowed Tilly to reach on board. Armstrong is 6'4". He's a pretty tall guy, and if he can't reach it, that means he threw it just a tad over.
So runner on first for the Bearcats. Brings up Pitts. He tries to roll it and not able to get his hand on it again is Kennett. So runners on first and second for the Bearcats.
So Pitts went for the bunt, and once again, he got the slice of touches. It had backspin, and it took one hop, and it stopped. The ball literally froze in place, and that threw Kennett off. He tried the barehanded grab it again, expecting the ball to come to him, and it literally just stayed put. I've never seen that happen before.
I mean, great backspin. He practices it all the time. Now Enzo Felice will lace one past the third base line. 1 run will come in for the Bearcats. Derek Pitts is going to be held on third, and Enzo and Felice a stand-up double. So Cincinnati now leads 7-0 here in the bottom of the 7th, one with 1 out on the board, and now will be Cal Sefcik.
How about the series Felice is having? 3 for 4 today. He's got 4 driven in this afternoon alone, 6 in the series. And Casey, you know what that means. Game-tying runs at the plate. We're at the game-winning run, sorry.
It happened yesterday for the Bearcats in the bottom of the 8th. Quentin Coates, 2-run shot. Cal Sefcik awaits and fouls it away for strike 1. Runners on second and third for the Bearcats in Pitts. And in Felice, Cal Sefcik flown out twice to right field, grounded out his last time up. 0-3 on the day. 1 out on the board. The pitch is hit hard. Well and passed into the gap between second and third. The throw in, and Felice is trying to come in. The slide, the tag, in time. So 1 run will score in Pitts, and Felice not fast enough to beat the throw, but An 8-0 lead for the Bearcats with 2 outs on the board.
So the entire infield was anticipating a bunt because they were playing directly along that infield grass line. Sefcik just pokes it to left field, and now Daniel will pinch run for Sefcik, but good relay in by Perez. Got in Felice there in time. Good job by the third baseman Clements to let that one go by to him as the throw is on line to Kennett. If Clements would have cut that one off, it would have been a different story.
2 outs on the board. Colin Daniel gets his first action of the series today to pinch a run. He was in the order for the Kansas series. The last time played at home for the Bearcats. Takes his lead off first. So you have a runner on first, 2 outs on the board. Atkinson up on the bump for the Bears to pitch to Mitchell. First pitch is in for a strike. So productive inning so far for the Bearcats bats. 6 errors between these two teams today. Atkinson takes a deep breath. Glove to his chest. The delivery is off the glove. Daniel will slide in and finds himself on second.
Yeah, that one was weird. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. It kind of just popped out of his glove and went away from him. Advanced Daniel to second in scoring position.
Swipes the bag. Stolen base for him. He's coming in after Sefcik reached on the single. The delivery is down low. 3-0 count now to Mitchell. He's 1 of 3 on the day. He hit the doubles last time up. Runner in scoring position on second for the Bearcats. Game-winning run with the run rule in effect. And Mitchell pitches up high. 3-1 count with 2 outs on the board to Mitchell. I think you and I were both a little confused there.
I thought that was the scoreboard had 3 and I don't know.
It had 3. It's been a little iffy the past 2 days.
100%.
So runner on second for the Bearcats. Mitchell up to bat. That pitch is down and in the zone for strike 2. Full count to Mitchell. Takes himself out of the box and a practice swing. Taps the top of home plate twice and brings the bat up to his shoulder. Atkinson on the bump, looks over at second, takes a deep breath, and now the pitch is swung on and fouled away behind home plate. So Chris in this position, and he has the speed. He could possibly lay down a bunt due to Kennett not able to get his hand on the ball.
Not here with 2 strikes.
2 outs on the board. Swung on for strike 3, collected into the glove, and that will do it. So Cincinnati ends the inning after scoring 2 runs. They lead 8-0. Here on Bearcat Sports Radio, we'll take a short break and be back with top of the 8th action. We're back in Cincinnati for top of the 8th action. An 8-run lead for the Bearcats. And Chris, a new righty on the mound for the Cats.
So it's Adam Brower. He was originally the Sunday starter for the Bearcats another guy that kind of struggled. He's now been shifted down to the bullpen. The biggest question I had, and probably a lot of fans had, was what would this weekend rotation look like for Cincinnati? Obviously, Taylor's your Friday guy. We weren't sure if we would see Logan Knight in the Saturday spot, but he shined today. The big question, who's going to start tomorrow now? It's either going to be a Dylan Schuler, someone who had a really good relief appearance, or you might go with the Chad Brown or another one of those baby blues and Connor Blue. Don't be surprised if Dylan Schuler starts tomorrow.
Could be the biggest question all year has been pitching for the Bearcats, and I mean, it's good outing so far. Yesterday, they only used 3 arms. It feels like 2 just due to Adam Buchkowski only pitching 2/3 of an inning and then getting pulled due to the knowledge that Hunter Snow had against him, both of them attending the same high school and have seen each other throughout the years. But Adam Brower will come in for the Bearcats, the 6'1", 200-pounder, the Northern Illinois transfer. Will face Bo Carway. So Carway will come in for Ty Johnson. Stands tall is Brower. First pitch in the zone for strike 1 against the freshman in Carway. 0-1 count. No outs on the board, top of the 8th action. Bearcats lead 8 runs to 0. Pitch is fouled away for strike 2.
And the reason I make that argument about Schuler potentially starting tomorrow, I mean, if you go between him or Chad Brown, it's not a bad choice either way. I just think because Schuler had a really good outing, Bishop sounds really high on him recently.
The pitch in the zone for strike 3. Bo Carway goes down swinging, and a great way to come out of the bullpen and get a strikeout.
3 pitches, all it took.
The right fielder, number 9, Brady Janusek.
Brady Janusek will come up. He was a strikeout victim of Logan Knight's twice today, back in the 1st and his last time up in the 6th. He stands and awaits. First pitch is in the zone for strike 1 towards the bottom of the knees. Janusek steps down to the box, takes his stance, taps home plate in the middle, and brings his bat up to his ear. The pitch is down low, below the knees for ball 1. 1-1 count with 1 out on the board. Christian Pagan joins me.
I lost my Sharpie. Had to go get it. 2 rows down.
So 1-1 count. Fouled away. 1-2. Janusek, he's 0 of 3 on the day. You put Adam Brower in, who already collected his first strikeout against Carway. He stands on the bump, glove to his chest. Now brings it in and down low for ball 2. Some of the fans not happy with the calls that David Buck, the home plate umpire, has had today.
Not surprised. You know, all fans do sometimes is complain. They can attack everyone but the players, the coaching, the umpires.
Janusek awaits. That one off of David Buck. Clenched slightly, and now he feels fine and gets back up.
Yeah, that one came off of a slight tip off the bat of Janusek that hit the home plate umpire. Good sportsmanship by Natili to walk the ball up to the pitcher per hour to allow the home plate umpire to get some time. You are red.
I am. The sunscreen, 80-minute sunscreen. It's been a bit of a longer game than any 80 minutes today. Brower steps into it and finds the zone again. Back-to-back strikeouts. So in total for the Bearcats today, that's their 10th strikeout. 10th batter struck out today for the Bears.
That's 23 in this series. Baylor, they've fanned on a lot of pitches, some even looking. I mean, back-to-back looking strikeouts. That's impressive.
Now Tice Armstrong singled his last time up. One of the few hitters to make contact and put the ball in play today. 4 hits for the Bears today as a team compared to the 12 that the Bearcats have. Brower rocks and steps in. Skied up into infield. Cowling off everyone is Smith, the second baseman. He tracks it well for the 3rd out. So Cincinnati has held Baylor scoreless through 8. They lead 8-0 here on Bearcat Sports Radio. We'll be back for bottom of the 8th. Back in Cincinnati for bottom of the 8th action, a new righty on the mound. And Braden Bergman stands at 6'1", 214 pounds out of Parker, Texas. The sophomore. Last year in 2025, he made 1 relief appearance after missing time due to injury. He made his debut on March 9th, striking out 2 in a scoreless relief. In high school, he struck out 20 in 9 innings. Was due to limited action and injury. He also hit as well, hitting .330 and 32 RBIs and 8 stolen bags. Unanimous first-team All-District pitcher. Will face Niehaus, who is 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch is below for ball 1. Bergman stands on the bump and awaits for Niehaus to enter the box. Takes a breath and steps. The lunge is down low for ball 2.
If the Bearcats, in all likelihood, are going to win this series, what an impressive performance it's been. I thought it would be very close between these two young teams, but the Bearcats have been better the entire 2 days so far.
Fouled away. And it's more due to their pitching today. We mentioned the pitching struggles, but so far Cincinnati has only gone through 5 arms in the series compared to what they've typically done, and they go almost through their entire bullpen.
So tale of 2 tales. Starting pitching was not good last week. It's been phenomenal this series.
The pitch is down low for ball 3. 3-1 to Niehaus. He was hit by a pitch the last time up. Stands in the box, that right foot on the back line. The pitch is outside for ball 4. So he'll draw a walk to start the bottom of the 8th.
Kind of like deja vu of yesterday's game. Started off with a walk, and what happened the very next pitch?
Home run.
Home run pitch, as Jose Ramirez would say.
For Ryan Taransky. He drew the walk, and Quentin Coates came in and hit the home run in the bottom of the 8th. Now Taransky up to bat for the Bearcats.
It's a perfect time to show some of that pop he has.
3 home runs, 1 hit today. First pitch is below and in the zone for strike 1. You're making the sign of you want this one to just get out of the park.
I got a feeling.
Is this your yard card?
Yep.
Transky, bunt attempt, taken away. It was too high for ball one.
He's showing bunt. My yard card's chalked.
I mean, you don't know that.
Unless it goes to 2 strikes. Be a different story.
1 ball and 1 strike to Taransky. The pitch in the zone for strike 2. Now, you and I have not discussed who we would put our yard card in on this game. I normally go with a safe bet, and I put it on Tilly or Coates.
You can only do one guy. Can't do 2.
No, you switch for games.
Well, regardless, so it's Derek Pitts. I don't think he was on anyone's yard card here in the control room either.
No, not at all. I don't think anyone expected Pitts to get a home run today, but anytime he's reached base, he's made it past second. Runner on first for the Bearcats. Bergman puts it in, but Taransky makes contact, and it would be fouled away.
That would have been another double. It would have been just missed the line by a few inches. Good piece of hitting. Just pulled it down the line.
Great hitting overall for both sides of the team. Just overall, Cincinnati has collected 12. Niehaus on first after drawing the walk. No outs on the board. A 1-2 count to Taransky. Bergman leans. Taransky will take his jump. Throw, not in time. Taransky will grab a bag. Excuse me, Niehaus. So the pitch was up high for ball 2. Niehaus had a great jump and reached for a stolen bag. The second bag for the Bearcats today that they've grabbed. Swung on for strike 3. He's 1 of 4. Popped up to start. Singled back in the third. Struck out and then grounded out into a double play. 1 out on the board. A runner in scoring position on second. And Niehaus.
All it takes is 1 swing of the bat.
Coates hacks on it, but he'll find the glove of the catcher for strike 1. 0-1 with 1 out on the board. The game-winning run with the run rule at home plate in Coates. Runner on second for the Bearcats in Niehaus. Checking on him is Bergman. The exact spot where Coates was yesterday.
Look how deep the outfield are playing.
They have to play very deep, knowing about the power that Coates has. 21 home runs. The pitch. Coates fouls it. Off the net. First base line.
That's coming our way, too.
He's aiming right at us. We gave him the luck yesterday. We called that home run.
You did. You called it.
You're trying to get one today. I know. You're trying to feel it out.
No, that's not true. He needs number 22. Come on.
An 0-2 count to Coates. 1 out on the board. Pitch is fouled away behind home plate.
He's going for it.
I would.
You can tell by the swings he has. He's loading up. He's trying to measure that speed, get it down, the pitch that's coming in. It's 94, 95. That's well in his range.
There's a lot of power off the bat. 21 home runs. Collected that 21st yesterday. The bottom of the 8th. The pitch is outside for ball 1. 95 miles an hour from Bergman. 1-2 count to Coates. Takes his time to get back into the box. Taps at the top of the 2 corners of home plate. Taking his lead is Niehaus off of second. The pitch swung on deep. Skied up, tracking it well. Into right field is Janusek. He gets his glove under it. Now going over from second to third. Throw not in time is Niehaus.
So that fastball once again, 94. Coates lifted it to right field. Hit it deep, but not deep enough, but it's okay because he advances Niehaus at third.
So in the bottom of the 8th, Jackson Smith comes up to bat. 34 RBIs, 1 of 3 on the day, 2 outs on the board. Bearcats lead 8-0. Run rule in effect. If a team leads by 10, the game will be over. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Jackson Smith stands tall, one of the few lefties on the Bearcats team. The pitch is fouled away. 1-1 count to Smith.
When coming into the series, Baylor, their bullpen, I say a lot of lefties. That's the advantage the Bearcats have with all the righty batters they have. The question, if they go deep, I don't know if they can last with 7 righties.
Pitch in the zone for strike 2.
Like, you're going to need lefty batters. You're going to need lefty pitchers. Both are not much in quantity for Cincinnati. That's why having Taransky leading off is huge in a way because he's also a lefty.
Pitch to Smith is inside for ball 2, and having Taransky lead off. He had a productive day yesterday, having those 3 doubles today. Grounded out twice, struck out, and got an infield hit. Now Smith, hit by pitch to start, but singled. That pitch is a slapper. Right into the glove of the second baseman and Reebok. So Cincinnati strands one, no runs scored, but they lead 8-0. Here on Bearcat Sports Radio, we'll be back for top of the 9th action. Back in Cincinnati for top of the 9th action. The Bears play with 3 outs left. Bearcats lead 8-0. Casey Stevens with my good friend Christian Pagan.
You just mute me?
Well, you were kind of chuckling a little bit there. I was like, I don't know what you're gonna do here, you know?
No, I was laughing because Colin Daniels playing center and him and Pitch are playing some catch. He tried to catch behind his back on a 360.
Did he really?
He did.
Here's Hunter Snow. Fouls it away nearing that UPA dorm room that is here in Cincinnati. Bearcats lead 8-0. I mean, a good start to the series, winning yesterday in 8 innings. Here's Bauer. Pitch outside for ball 2.
How about this is the 16th inning played? 17th inning played? Baylor has been held scoreless for the past 16 of them.
Wow. Pitch near the knees and in the zone for strike 2.
That's really impressive. That is super impressive.
I mean, when you hold any team scoreless, it's impressive in a game, and especially when you have 4 errors and 4 hits given up. Snow puts a rip on it into the glove of Smith to Coates for the first out. So Snow on the day has only reached on the air to bring up Pearson Reebok. 2 of 3. He doubled One of the only hits that we saw throughout the game until he got his second one in the 5th. He stands and awaits. Outside for ball 1.
And it comes back to really the top of the order. It's not been productive for Baylor. Today they are 0 for 9.
Brower places it perfectly in the zone for strike 1. Dubach has been a hard out today. The double back in the 2nd. I mean, we almost saw an immaculate inning.
2 games in a row.
2 games in a row. It's
Don't
been
see that
impressive.
often.
Pitch is fouled away behind home plate for strike 2.
I think another important thing is that in this series, Baylor, when it comes to leading off an inning, they are 1 for 17. They're not getting base runners on early at all.
Wow. I mean, that's an impressive stat. Here's Brower. Ooh, hits Reebok. So he'll reach base. 1 out on the board after the ground out from Snow. So you have Reebok on first, and now you go to your catcher and Kennett. Excuse me. Buchanan will actually come in to hit. Assuming that change just happened. Cannon had some action yesterday after Kennett couldn't get much off the bat. Now he comes in here. Top of the 9th, a runner on first. First pitch is in the zone for strike 1.
Good crowd here at UC Baseball Stadium for a Saturday game.
It's a bit of a sweaty day. It's going to be worse tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
You and Aiden Riggs on the call.
Yes, sir.
Pitch is hacked on. Here's strike 2.
Projected high of 85. Woof, man.
I'm happy. I will be in the air conditioning and relaxed, possibly doing some homework.
I got to do a lot of homework.
Right. It's finals. Getting close to there.
Finals.
The pitch in the zone for strike 3. Buchanan goes down looking. So the 3rd strikeout of the day for Brower. Overall for Cincinnati, struck out the Baylor Bears, I believe, 11 times.
Yep. How about the last 4 looking, too?
Impressive. Now Clements, first pitch in the zone for strike 1. 2 outs on the board, a runner on first. And Reebok. Cincinnati leads 8-0 here in the top of the 9th. Brower delivers, and in the zone again for strike 2. 0-2 to Clements. He's 0-1 on the day. He grounded out to that 5-3 his last time up. 0-2 count, 2 outs on the board, a runner on first. The pitch is swung on hard. That one into shallow right. The throw to hold the runners on the corners. From the right fielder.
Derek Pitts out there now. That's his natural position with Daniel coming into center, shifting Pitts to right. But how about 2 out hitting for Baylor this entire series? It's been super prominent, and it's showing once again.
So from left to right, fielder Stransky, Daniel, and Pitts. It was Sefcik, Pitts, and Stransky to start the game. So now you have runners on the corners. 2 outs. The jump, the swing, but a base will be given over to Clements after his single. So runners on the corner. I mean, for Baylor, they're seeking to break their 17-inning strand of no runs being scored. Pitch is up high. I know you're mad at me for saying that.
No. If it happens, I'm not
If it
saying
happens,
it will, but
assuming
Perez.
this is my water.
Yes. Perez is doing really well in this series, especially in the first game. But if it happens, it's a good old announcer's drinks.
It's happened before already. Fouled away. I believe you and I may have had 3 announcer drinks yesterday. Dylan Perez getting his first hit. The home run call. I'm trying to think, maybe a strikeout as well.
I don't think that's an announcer's jinx. I think that's just a perfect setup.
1 and 2 to Perez. 2 outs on the board. Runners on second and third for the Bears. Brower outside. You're chuckling. I don't know why.
No, because Natili, the catcher, it popped out of his glove. He flipped off his helmet. The ball was right in front of him. He didn't know. He took a step to his left, turned around to 360, and the ball's right in front of him.
2-2 count now to Perez. 2 outs on the board. Runners on second and third here in the top of the 9th. Brower, deep breath, and the stretch. Fouled away behind home plate. So a chance for Cincinnati to get the second one of the series after winning yesterday in only 8 innings. 7.5. Now, 2 outs on the board. 2-2 count. Brower. That one sliced into shallow right. Smith grounds it over to Coates, and Cincinnati wins. So an impressive start for Logan Knight. He earns the win. Adam Brower comes in and strikes out 3, but the bats went well for the Bearcats. 12 hits, 8 runs scored, and away to win the series. They lead 2-0. One more game tomorrow, the Sunday game against the Baylor Bears. Chris, what stood out to you for the Bearcats?
I mean, it's got to be the pitching so far, not only today, but in the series in general. We know about the troubles the Bearcat starters have had last week in Stillwater. This series here in Cincinnati, it's a completely different story. 2 great outings from your starting pitchers that were much needed. I mean, very, very needed. Logan Knight got the job done today. 7 innings pitched, all scoreless, 8 strikeouts. Brower came in 2 innings, scoreless as well, 3 strikeouts. The bats, too. It's across the entire lineup. Everyone was really productive. How about Enzo Infelice? 3 for 4 on the day. He's racking up that RBI tally in this series. Just a really good showing by the Bearcats today.
I mean, overall, you have to look at how the defense played. While there was mistakes, the pitching question marks are still in the air for the Bearcats. Only having to use 5 arms through 2 games is very impressive. Logan Knight shined today. And then you... I'll let you go.
100%. No, he looked really sharp. He had some traffic to begin the game. But once he went around the second and third time, I mean, he really locked in. But for both teams, a little bit of sloppy play on defense, a handful of errors, 6 in this game, 4 for Cincinnati, something they got to work on. But everything else looked really, really well for Cincinnati.
So Cincinnati wins the second game of the series. They find their 3rd win in a row against the Baylor Bears. They win here 8-0. For everyone who has listened, I hope that you all had great night. For my friend Christian McGowan, I've been Casey Stevens here on Bearcat Sports Radio. The Cats win 8-0.